The San Francisco 49ers are on the verge of a pivotal offseason as they look to bolster their pass rush for the 2026 season. After a tumultuous year marred by injuries, the defense struggled to maintain pressure, and the front office is keen on ensuring that doesn't repeat itself. With the return of Nick Bosa and 2025 first-round pick Michael Williams from ACL injuries, the stage is set for a revival. But the question remains, will the Niners look to add more firepower to their already potent defensive lineup? As we dive deeper, it's worth noting the swirling rumors around potential trades and free agent acquisitions, particularly the mention of Jadeveon Clowney. Fox Sports reporter Ben Arthur has suggested that the 49ers could benefit from adding the veteran defensive end. Clowney, the first overall pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, has been a bit of a journeyman, playing with 7 different teams. However, he still possesses the ability to make an impact. Last season with the Dallas Cowboys, he tallied 41 tackles, 12 tackles for loss, 8.5 sacks, and 10 quarterback hits. The rationale behind this speculation is sound. The 49ers need a reliable backup plan for Bosa, especially considering he missed 14 games last season due to injury. Clowney could step in and provide the kind of production that would bolster the pass rush, something that was sorely lacking last year. The 49ers' defense is built on pressure. Without it, teams can exploit weaknesses elsewhere, and we saw that play out too often in 2025. Adding Clowney could mitigate risks and give the Niners more flexibility in their defensive schemes. But Clowney isn't the only veteran linked to San Francisco. Arthur also brought linebacker Bobby Wagner into the conversation. Yes, Wagner is 35 and arguably past his prime, but let's not kid ourselves about his football IQ and effectiveness. He's coming off his 10th consecutive season with over 130 tackles, an impressive feat that speaks volumes about his durability and skill in the run game. With Fred Warner recovering from a season-ending ankle injury and Greenlaw having struggled to stay on the field, Wagner could serve as a much-needed safety net for the 49ers linebacker core. Wagner's familiarity with the NFC West, especially with his long tenure at the Seattle Seahawks, means he understands the division's nuances and rivalries. Moreover, his connection to KJ Wright, who now serves as San Francisco's linebackers coach, could facilitate a smooth transition. They could work together to instill Wagner's wealth of knowledge into the younger players, making the whole unit stronger. Now, let's be honest, while adding Clowney or Wagner could provide depth and experience, it's not a cure-all. The 49ers need to ensure their core players stay healthy and productive. The injury history of key figures like Bosa and Warner raises legitimate concerns about the team's long-term viability. Can we count on these players to return to form? The stakes are incredibly high for 2026, and if the 49ers are serious about contending, they need to make moves that bolster their chances while being strategic about risk management. So, what do you, fellow 49ers fans, think about these potential signings? Would Clowney's experience and Wagner's cerebral approach enhance the roster? Leave your comments below. As we continue to dissect the moves the 49ers might make this offseason, let's turn our attention to another pressing issue that could shape the team's future. As the San Francisco 49ers gear up for OTAs, they're making strides to fill crucial gaps and fortify their roster. However, the linebacker position remains a noticeable concern, leading to some speculation about potential signings. Notably, Fox Sports writer Ben Arthur has thrown the name of former All-Pro linebacker Bobby Wagner into the conversation, suggesting that his experience could be a valuable asset for the 49ers. At 35 years old, Wagner may be seen as past his prime, but his track record speaks volumes. Coming off a remarkable decade with at least 130 tackles in each season, his cerebral approach to the game and effectiveness in the run game can't be overlooked. Arthur argues that Wagner could serve as a solid backup option for a team wrestling with injury issues at the inside linebacker positions. With Fred Warner recovering from season-ending ankle injury and Greenlaw's recent history of limited playtime, the need for reliable depth is as pressing as ever. However, the question remains, would Wagner be content to take on a backup role? The reality is, if he were open to that, he would likely have found a home by now. Wagner seems to embody the mindset of a player who aspires to be a starter. It's plausible that he's holding out, waiting for a team to assess their linebacker situation before making a decision. Perhaps an injury elsewhere could prompt a call to action. If the 49ers were to bring Wagner on board as a backup, it would certainly be a strategic move, especially considering Greenlaw's injury history. But the intrigue of this potential signing goes beyond just filling a roster spot. Bringing Wagner into the fold would not only bolster the 49ers defense, but would also serve as a playful jab at the Seattle Seahawks, the team he once called home. Wagner joining forces with the 49ers would echo the sentiments felt when another Seahawks legend, Richard Sherman, made the same leap. Wagner hasn't been at his peak for some time, but the implications of his signing would be significant from a psychological standpoint. Imagine the reaction of Seahawks fans as yet another former star dons the red and gold. The thought of Wagner having the 49ers on his resume would undoubtedly sting for those in Seattle. While Sherman eventually received some love from Seahawks supporters post-retirement, it took time. Wagner might still hold a special place in the hearts of Seattle fans, but it would be a humorous twist for the 49ers to add him to their roster. In the end, while this rumor may seem far-fetched, it's a tantalizing notion that stirs the imagination of 49ers fans. The prospect of Wagner joining the team, even just for the sake of rivalry banter, is enough to keep the discussion lively. What do you think? Let us know where you're watching from and share your thoughts on this potential signing and its implications. As we continue to dissect the 49ers' offseason moves, there's still much to cover, including other critical areas that require attention. Let's dive into the next topic.
As we dive deeper into the latest developments surrounding the San Francisco 49ers, the buzz around their reshaped wide receiver room is palpable. With the offseason moves that included the acquisitions of veteran talents like Mike Evans and Christian Kirk, the 49ers have clearly set their sights on bolstering their offense. But the intrigue doesn't stop there. The selection of De'Zhaun Stribling with the 33rd overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft adds a fresh layer of excitement. So, where are you watching from? And what do you think about the 49ers' strategic moves? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. The question on everyone's mind is how quickly Stribling can become a meaningful contributor to head coach Kyle Shanahan's dynamic offense. While there are factions within the fanbase and analysts alike debating whether Stribling could step into a starting role by season's end or if 2026 will primarily be a developmental year for him, one individual is already seeing the potential for immediate impact: 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy. Speaking at the Dwight Clark Legacy Series event, Purdy didn't hold back on his praise for Stribling's raw talent. He described the rookie receiver as a player with significant athletic ability, emphasizing the importance of getting him acclimated to the playbook and developing chemistry on the field. Stribling's a guy that has a lot of raw talent, Purdy remarked. He further elaborated, "Once we obviously get him in the playbook a lot and get reps with each other on the field, I feel like he's going to be a guy that can come in and make an instant impact." This isn't just idle chatter. With Stribling's impressive collegiate stats, 1,693 receiving yards over his final 2 seasons and 12 touchdowns combined, there's a strong case to be made for his readiness to contribute sooner rather than later. While some analysts may have criticized the 49ers for selecting him earlier than expected, the organization clearly sees something special in Stribling. They believe he is the best blocking wide receiver available in this draft, a trait that perfectly aligns with Shanahan's scheme that emphasizes versatility and team play. Purdy's enthusiasm is infectious, and it's hard not to share in that excitement. The wide receiver core is looking healthy and promising, and Purdy himself noted, "We've got to keep it going and just keep stacking days. And I think we've got a really good core as a whole." This sentiment speaks volumes about the synergy building within the team. As fans, we've seen how crucial it is for quarterbacks and receivers to develop a strong rapport, and with Purdy leading the charge, expectations are high. The chemistry between him and Stribling will be pivotal as the 49ers gear up for the 2026 NFL season. It's a time for optimism and hope, but also a moment to recognize the hard work ahead. In conclusion, as the 49ers navigate through the offseason and into the season, the narrative around Stribling and the revamped receiver room will be one to watch closely. The potential for immediate impact is tantalizing, and with Purdy at the helm, there's a sense of belief that this team is not just building for the future. They're ready to compete now. Don't forget to subscribe and let us know what you think about the 49ers moves and how you see the season unfolding. Your insights are invaluable as we rally behind this team.